May felt like a very busy month for me. May was my birthday month, so that added some events to the calendar. It was also a month helping out with big school events like field trips and things like that. We also had end of the year concerts, some holiday gatherings like Mother's Day and Memorial Day being in the mix. And so all of these added to just normal responsibilities in daily life made the month feel super busy. But even though the month was full of activities, I have still been able to do a decent amount of gaming for the month. I don't feel like I ever make enough progress to make a significant dent in my backlog, but I still played more than I expected to for the month. So I wound up being pretty happy with the results. What did I play? Well, let's get to the games. For the first time since January, I have a game on the completed list that I actually finished the story of and wasn't just a short free-to-play game. I do also have one of those on the list as well, so it does mean I completed 2 games for May, and I'm happy that neither of these were games that I just dropped. They're both ones I fully completed, which makes me very happy. The first of these games is Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. I was able to finish up the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster in May. It is a game that I have a good amount of history with, and I was glad to get to play it again. Not only was I able to finish up the story, I was also able to earn the platinum for the game as well. Now, this isn't a super hard game to get the platinum on, as most of the trophies were ones you kind of earned through the story parts of the game. I mainly had to go around and find some missing chests and some missing entries in my bestiary to finish the game up. Even though it wasn't too hard, I was happy to earn my 91st platinum trophy at the end of it all. Now, if you want to know more about what I thought about Final Fantasy and if it's worth revisiting, I did just release a review of the Pixel Remaster version of the game right at the end of May. Feel free to take a look if you're wanting to see my opinion on the game. The second game on the list is a wholesome game about farming. So here is my short free-to-play completion for the month. A wholesome game about farming is a very strange name. It's a very generic name for a game, but I suppose the game is a bit strange as well, so it all kind of works. It's a game that's played in 2 different halves. One of these halves takes place during the day and the other is at night. During the day, you play as a struggling farmer trying to grow crops so he can have something to eat and feed his cat. Problem is that the soil around his farm isn't good for growing much of anything. During the night, you play as a weakened vampire who has taken shelter in the farmer's shed. Here, you are trying to take out drunken patrons traveling from the local tavern and burying them in the farm to fertilize the land. So it winds up having this interaction between the day and the night parts. The places where you bury the bodies during the night parts will allow you to plant crops there during the day. And then depending on the crop that the farmer plants, it will affect the gameplay during the night with the vampire. So it's kind of an interesting interplay between the 2 halves. It is a bit of a shallow gameplay though. I mean, it's enjoyable for what it is, but there's not a lot of depth to it. There's only like 2 crops that you can really plant, 3, 4 types of enemies that you can kill. So there's not a lot of variety. It's got some dark humor. It's a little strange, but I had a decent time with it. And I am hoping to get a review out for this during June. So you can be on the lookout for that to see if it's worth your time. The story category is pretty similar this month to last month, with only 1 game being swapped out from last month and 1 being added in. The first game is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. I've played some of this game during the month, but really haven't played that much. I have finished the first game in the trilogy completely and have started the second, but for some reason I have a hard time getting motivated to play the game. I'm not really sure why this is, as I do enjoy the game. I just tend to not choose it when I sit down to play. I think in part it's because it's very story heavy, takes a little bit of time to get things done in, so I get into the story and I don't really want to quit. This makes me try to play it only at times where I know I have a big chunk of time to play it in, which I haven't had many of those during May. I really just need to play it in smaller pieces and it would probably help me get through it a lot quicker, but I haven't done that yet. I'll try to have that be a goal for June, although with summer starting up, I don't know what my playing will look like for the next few months. So yeah, it'll be a bit of a mystery, but it's something I will try to do and hopefully get through it a little bit quicker because I do enjoy it. I just have been really slow in getting through it. The second game is Stardew Valley. I also played more Stardew Valley Expanded over the month of May. I'm currently well into the summer season and have been doing pretty well. I've managed to complete one of the collections in the community center already, giving me access to the minecarts. This has been very nice since the map in the mod is a bit bigger, so having a fast travel is a big help, especially for getting back to your house at night. I've also been delving pretty deep into the mines already as well, which has allowed me to get some of my iron tool upgrades. All that said, I feel like I've got a pretty good foundation going on for my farm, even though there's still a lot to develop. The biggest thing I need is to get set up for animals, building a silo and some animal buildings is something I'll try to do in the upcoming month. It takes quite a bit of money, but I'm getting to the point where I'm making a decent amount of money, at least on some days. As you can probably tell, I'm continuing to enjoy my time with Stardew Valley Expanded. I'm really looking forward to making my farm super productive, but also finding out, more new content from the mod and kind of the things that it's added. The third and final game for the story category is Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster. With the completion of Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, I moved on to the second game in the series. Now, this is a game that I've never finished before. I do think I've technically tried it before when it was released on the original PlayStation, but I don't think I've ever finished it. So far, I haven't played much, but I have enjoyed what I've played. I feel like there is a bit more of an engaging story in this one, and your characters aren't just blank slates like in the first. The leveling system is also completely different than the first, and is actually pretty unique, as I don't really know that I've ever played a system quite like it. You basically gain levels based on what you do in battle. If you use attacks, you'll gain strength. If you use magic, you'll gain intelligence or gain magic points because you've used some to cast spells, and so on, depending on what stat would be connected to things. It's an interesting system, but we'll see how well it works over time. I could see it kind of going lots of different ways. I mean, it's nice because it has the ability for you to really customize your characters quite a little bit, but I could also see how it could make things tough if you upgrade things wrong or don't upgrade things enough to kind of scale with where you're going story-wise. I could also see it making things way too easy because you can just upgrade your people really easily. And if you just grind enough, then you can kind of make your characters overpowered. So yeah, I'm not sure how it'll go, but we'll see how that winds up as I play it a little bit more in June. So moving on from story games, I'll be focusing on games that I call endless games. These are games that don't have clear-cut endings. They can be online PvP, arcade, sandbox, creative, simulation, or party games. Some of these are games I enjoy quite a bit and keep playing off and on, while others are ones that I play for a season and then move on from. Most of the list this month are regulars that have shown up here almost every month. The breakdown seems to be 4 regulars, 2 games that are a bit more irregular, and 1 that was added last month but keeps the streak alive and is here again this month. So the first of these is Fortnite. So Chapter 4, Season 2 is getting very close to wrapping up. I've been enjoying the season so far though. We had the big Star Wars event during the first half of the month, which was a lot of fun. The second half of May was a bit more disappointing. There's been some things removed like the bounty boards and the kinetic blades, which I'm really sad about because I did really like the blades for its mobility and even just for its attacking. I'm also trying hard to get level 200 to be able to unlock all of the super level skins, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get there. I'm close. I'm in like the 180s right now, the low 180s. We'll see what happens. I'll try to get as close as I can, and we'll just see where I wind up. I am looking forward to seeing what Chapter 4 Season 3 will bring with it as it starts in June. I've heard rumors of Transformer skins being available next season, and as one who really enjoyed Transformers growing up, I'm looking forward to seeing if this is true or just a rumor. The second game is Bloons TD6. I feel like Bloons was a bit of a casualty of a busier month. While I was able to kind of keep up with some of my story games, I didn't really spend much time with Bloons at all. I think I maybe played a level and an easy Odyssey over the course of the whole month. Nobody in the family really got too involved in a contested territory, and since we've been busy, nobody really picked it to play for co-op either. It was just a bit of an off month for Bloons, but it still makes the list. The third endless game is Cookie Run Kingdom. Yes, I am still playing Cookie Run Kingdom. I've still thought about dropping it, but just haven't done it yet. I still feel like I'm a bit stuck and haven't really made a lot of progress in any of the story modes or the modes that were kind of normal to the game. But the Legend of the Red Dragon event has given me a bit more to do than some of the other events have done. And that's helped me keep interested in the game. It doesn't really require a lot of playing, just making sure I regularly log in and spend a little time with it every day. It's here for another month at least. The fourth game is Marvel Snap. I don't know if Marvel Snap really upped the card drop rate for collector's reserves, or I've just been really lucky this month. But I've been able to get a number of new cards over the course of May. Admittedly, not all of them have been great cards, but I've been able to get some pretty good ones in the mix as well. I've been able to get Black Panther, Shuri, the Hood, Sentry, Helicarrier, Ghost, Shadow King, Dazzler, Zero, and Master Mold over the course of the month. I also got Kitty Pryde like everyone else due to her issues, and have also received Nebula from this month's Battle Pass. With the new cards, I made a Wakanda deck, and since one of the challenges from the month was to win with Star-Lord in your deck, I made a Guardians of the Galaxy deck as well. They may not be top tier decks, but I've been able to win with them, and they're pretty fun to play. I've also tweaked other decks over the course of the month too, so I feel like it's been a pretty good month of Marvel Snap, and we'll hope that continues for next month as well. The fifth game is Vault of the Void. I played some more Vault of the Void and was finally able to get my review out for the game around the middle of the month. I imagine you'll see Vault of the Void on here every once in a while, but I don't see it being a game that I play every month. It's a game that I just have so many mixed feelings about. I do enjoy it to a degree, but at the same time, it hasn't been a game that really gets me excited to play. I think it has been these mixed feelings that took me so long to review it in the first place. But from now on, I can just play it when I feel like and not just so that I can give a fair impression for a review. We'll just have to see how often that actually is. The sixth endless game is Vampire Survivors. I continue to play and enjoy this new edition from last month. I've been able to get all the achievements from the main game, and I also played through the first DLC of the game, Legacy of the Moonspell, in May as well. I put out a little DLC review on Legacy of the Moonspell this month, so you can check it out to see if I think it's worth picking up or not. Next month, I will probably start tackling the most recent DLC, Tides of the Foscari. I'll probably also do a DLC review for that as well in June, so you can be looking out for that. Vampire Survivor continues to be super fun, and while I have made it to a point where I can kind of blast my way through a good portion of the game, it is still fun, and I can always make it harder by picking different weapon combos or eliminating some of the powerful weapons from the pool if I wanted to. I'm not sure that I will want to, but I could if I find it too easy and start to get bored with it. And the final endless game for May is Overwatch 2. Now, I wound up playing some Overwatch 2 with my son a couple times this month. I do enjoy Overwatch 2 quite a bit, but it's just not a game that I'm really willing to grind a battle pass on. I have Fortnite for that, and I just don't really feel like I have the time to be able to try to grind out battle passes on multiple games. Doesn't mean I don't enjoy Overwatch, because it is a fun game. Admittedly, though, I'm not a huge fan of their change in monetization, and really wonder why they upgraded it to a sequel with Overwatch 2 as opposed to just Overwatch, especially now that the rumored PvE is canceled. So the game's still fun, but I also feel like it has been mishandled a bit recently, which kind of makes me a little bit more ambivalent about it. Finally, we have the games I'm playing mainly to try to earn trophies or achievements for. I may not earn all of them in these games, but I'm striving to earn as many as I feel are reasonable. The only game on the list here this month is Marvel's Avengers. So I'm still working on trophies for Marvel's Avengers. I did get a couple Hive trophies earlier this month, but I'm still working on the big one, which is getting 50 Hive missions completed. I have around 20 done at the moment, but I've heard that the trophy doesn't always pop right away, so we'll see if I get it at 50 or not. I'm also needing the 250 total hero levels and the 100 AIM prisoners rescued trophy, but I'm hoping the Hive will help at least with the levels if it doesn't also help with the prisoners. So this is what I've been playing in May. It's been busy, but I feel like I've played a good amount for as busy as I've been. I'm glad to get a couple games completed by actually finishing up the story and achievements on them instead of just dropping the game. It helps knock out a couple of games off my backlog, but not nearly as many as I would hope. Still though, I've had fun, and it looks like the new addition to the list in Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster will be fun as well. How about you? What have you been playing in May 2023? Have you picked up any new releases over the month? Just been playing old favorites? Or are you playing games that you're trying to remove from your own backlogs? Let me know in the comments, as it's always fun to see what others are playing and if those games are worth adding to my own backlog. Hope everyone had a great month and that you've been playing lots of fun games. That's all for this month, so we'll see you next time.